Hello, I'm Vivienne MacCarthy, President of the Shire of Donnybrook Balingup. Welcome to this recap of the Ordinary Council meeting held on the 23rd of April 2025. Several development applications were received at this month's meeting, which I'll summarise briefly in this recap. But as always, you can view the details for each application in the minutes and attachments from the meeting. At item 9.1.1, an application for subdivision was referred to the Shire for comment from the WA Planning Commission for the strata titling of 12 lots over lot 142 Bridge Street in Donnybrook. Council resolved to approve this application subject to various conditions and advice. And then at items 9.1.2 and 9.1.3, these related to development applications for grouped dwellings at lots 93 and 92 on Robert Street in Balingup. Council resolved to approve both applications with several conditions in place, along with advice to help address and mitigate community concerns raised during the consultation period. At item 9.1.4, Council received a development application for a universal access toilet addition to the Yabarup Hall. The existing toilet block was built way back in the 1970s and fails to meet today's accessibility standards. As such, Council resolved to approve the application subject to various conditions and advice. And finally, a retrospective development application came before Council at item 9.1.6 for a pine plantation in Southampton. Again, the application was approved subject to a number of conditions and advice. Item 9.1.5 relates to an event application for Bliss Festival 2025. It's proposed to take place in Brookhampton during the New Year period. An application for this event was considered and refused previously at the Ordinary Council meeting held in November 2024. Since then, the application has been referred to the SAT and resubmitted to the Shire for approval. One of the concerns addressed relates to the timing of the event during the Shire's high bushfire threat period and the ability to evacuate patrons from the site in the event of fire. The revised application before Council reduces the number of patrons and was approved subject to conditions and advice. The Shire regularly reviews our policies with new policies, changes to existing policies, or the rescinding of old policies required to come before Council for approval. This process establishes the framework that allows the CEO to make decisions under delegated authority from Council. At item 9.2.3, the Infrastructure Asset Management Policy was rescinded and a new asset management policy was adopted in its place. At item 9.2.4, the policy for road use approval for restricted access vehicles on Council's road network was also rescinded, and the amended land resumption compensation policy was adopted. At item 9.2.5, Council resolved that the electoral commissioner of the WA Electoral Commission will be responsible for conducting the 2025 local government ordinary elections. This election is scheduled to take place on the 18th of October 2025 and will be completed through the postal election method as we have done in previous years. Further details can be found via the WA Electoral Commission website. At item 9.2.6, Council received and endorsed the annual review of the Shire's asset management plans and financial information plans for the 2025-2026 period. Managing Council's assets effectively is essential to delivering sustainable services that meet the community's needs now and into the future. The plans are key to informing Council and guiding the development of both the long-term financial plan and the annual budget for the 2025-2026 financial year. Last year, the Consolidated Asset Maintenance Plan highlighted significant gaps between the funds required for asset maintenance and replacement and the funds available in our reserves. And since then, significant improvement has been made toward closing this gap, although more work is still underway. In endorsing the plans for 25-26, Council recognises that there are resourcing and systems limitations experienced in assessing our assets, particularly in determining bridge and road asset projections. So I encourage you to read the overarching Consolidated Asset Report to gain an understanding of this critical area of our Shire's long-term financial sustainability. Thank you for listening to this recap covering the Ordinary Council meeting for April 2025. You can find more information and documents related to our Council meetings on the Shire website.